we'll start off with punt return. We need to fix that punt return issue. I mean, we need to find someone back there who's going to catch the ball.
Yeah, I mean, it's dire. To be honest with you, but I think that's gonna change, of course, with Tony coming back. Playing Harmon coming back as well. I think he's just a guy that you're putting in there until you actually come in. Those guys get back, right? So the thing is, man, you think he has reliable hands and you securing the ball, right? That's a lot of the punt returns, securing the ball. You want to get returns, but you got to have a guy back there that can absolutely come in and secure the football. And him muffing the punt, I guess. Full disclosure, man, I didn't get to see all the game. I was in and out watching some of the game. I know Eric kind of texted me that he muffed the punt, which is that's shocking. But you have to have somebody back there reliable. And if he's not going to be a reliable guy back there, and that's all you need to do is secure the punt, find somebody that can, right? I mean, do you use a position, like I said, like an Ely or somebody back there to secure that? But like I said, if it's something that like Kadarius Toney is coming back next week, hey, then don't worry about it. Okay, you just kind of move on from it.
The punt return has become such an issue, and I think today also the special teams as a whole this year has been kind of the worst we've seen in a really long time in the Reed era, and I think we've talked about that before. But we had the fake punt pass. This is a team that's desperate, trying to win at all costs. They have a third-string quarterback in there, so they're going to try to figure out other ways to get first downs. You get the fake punt pass, Skyy Moore, the muff punt. I think it's third or fourth in the season. I think third, I believe, right?
I actually think it's his fourth.
Fourth muff punt, awful. We don't have another punt return, and Justin Watson comes in there. Hey man, I'll take a fair catch all day long. If he's never going to return it, as long as he fair catches it and doesn't muff it, I'll take that all day long. We have an offense who doesn't need a punt return to take it to the house. We don't need that. We have an offense that can do that can drive a whole length of the field. We don't, we're not stuck in the, a team that has a guy like Jared Goff as their quarterback where they need a punt return to get him into good field position. We have Mahomes. We're fine. But this is pretty scary going to the playoffs without having a legitimate punt returner, a guy who we can trust back there, who can field the punt confidently. And that's one thing I'm really scared. We talk about all the things. We have a lot of confidence going into the postseason, number one seed. We have a lot of things going for us. That's one little small thing, which special teams comes up big in the postseason. We saw McCole Hardman help us out in that Houston Texans game, gives that little jolt of, some kind of life when we were down 24-0. We don't really have that in that punt return. We don't have anybody who can just field the punt. I'm just right now seeing this, and I thought Skyy would get the confidence last week, get thrust into the offense. He would have the confidence, and, comes back out. He's not a punt returner, and that's fine. He's a great receiver, and we saw it today again. But he's not a punt returner, and that's where I'm just kind of confused. What are your thoughts on this whole punt return situation?
Yeah, the Chiefs have a real problem in special teams as a whole, but in particular at punt returner. Biggest reason why is because, as you said, they don't have a guy right now. They usually do, and he's been one of the more durable players over the last 3-4 years, and it's been McCole Hardman. The problem is he's on the IR right now, but the biggest issue is even before he was on the IR, the Chiefs reluctantly put him at punt return, which I don't understand for the life of me. He is clearly the most suitable guy on this roster to do punt returns. And to your point, the Chiefs don't need any miracle. They don't need a Deion Sanders or a Tyreek Hill or an Antonio Brown back there. They just need a guy that gets them, if he's going to return it, just get them 8 to 15 yards and just put Patrick Mahomes in the best position possible and play it safe. I'm good with a guy like Justin Watson right now just going back there, and if it's in good territory, just a fair catch it and just give Patrick Mahomes the damn ball. Because you can't have a guy out there that is continuously giving the other team second wind and second life by giving them the ball right back when your defense just had a 3 and out. It is unacceptable. I can understand if it happens once, maybe even twice. But when it has happened more than 3 or 4 times in a single season and you're just now halfway through the season, that is on coaching. Andy Reid and Dave Toub have over 40 years of NFL coaching experience under their belt, and they continually put the wrong guy in the wrong position. McCole Hardman's out, so that's an excuse, but he wasn't your guy to begin with. You were putting Skyy Moore out there week 1, week 2. That is not okay. This guy is clearly a receiver. He is so confident on the field when he's out there lined up in the slot, lined up out wide. He is confident. You see that this guy's a contributor. When he's in special teams, he looks lost. He looks like you or I out there, Marcus, and I know you play a little football, but I would imagine it'd be hard for us to return punts right now in the NFL because of the way that ball moves. You have to have somebody out there that understands the way the ball is moving. It's a lot different than catching a pass, as we all know. That thing is flying it's a knuckleball coming down. Yeah. Just have somebody that has reliable hands that gets your offense on the field. That's not asking much, especially from what I believe is the best coaching staff in the entire league. They should have this figured out by week 11 and week 12, man. This is not acceptable. McColl being down, I get it. But that wasn't even your guy to start with. You guys need to figure this out. Play it safe because this is the best offense in football. All you got to do is just make sure they get the ball on a consistent basis, not give extra possessions to the other team.
Yeah, to your point, in high school, I was a punt returner and kick returner. More comfortable with kick returns. I did not like fielding punts. They liked me back there because I was sure-handed, but that ball was coming in. I prefer to give it some space so I could catch it off the bounce. I did not like catching it on the catching, and then having that's one of the hardest positions to. That's why it's like you can't just throw anybody in that position. That's why I'm seeing this like Skyy more. It's obviously that he's not comfortable doing this, so let's not put him in that situation. And plus, going into last week, everyone was kind of down on him. We really hadn't seen him get much reps on offense. People were down on him because of what we saw in special teams. He's not a punt returner. He's a receiver, and we've seen that over the last 2 weeks. He's a legitimate receiver, and he's going to have a good position on this team for a while, being our possession guy, being our middle of the field guy. I can't wait to see him grow and progress in the offense, but punt return is not his thing. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out the best clips from Chief Concerns. And if you prefer to listen to the show, subscribe and follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and anywhere else you get podcasts.